The Road to the CFR is presented by the Edmonton Destination Marketing Hotels, Northlands, the Canadian Professional Rodeo Association, and iLink Media Group in partnership with Travel Alberta.
You heard it here first. Western GMC Buick is Alberta's #1 GMC dealer. No one sells more GMCs than Western. Visit us today at the corner of 184th Street and Stony Plain Road in Edmonton and find out why.
The steer wrestling upcoming. It's all brought to us by our friends from Western GMC Buick, bringing us the steer wrestling, or what they call the bulldog. And 2 cowboys, 2 horses, 1 steer, barrier rope, 6 variables and all. Doug, a lot of things can go wrong. You want a lot of things to go right if you're going to win the money.
And we normally find the big cowboys in the steer wrestling, but that's not all it takes to be a good steer wrestler. You have to be able to ride a horse. You have to be able to read cattle. We've got Texas Longhorn steers waiting for them down there. These steers weigh in at about 650 pounds. If you can use that steer's momentum to your advantage, you just might be able to win the round tonight. By the way, this is rodeo's fastest event.
Well, it often is, and I'll tell you what, some interesting stories in here. Beginning, of course, with the very first guy we're going to see, Todd Woodward. Here's a guy who last year just sat on the bubble just outside of the top 12. He finished up 13th overall, and this year was sitting 13th, going to the last rodeo of the season, jumped out there at Hannah, Alberta, won a whole bunch of money, and got himself back to the Canadian Finals rodeo. Of course, 2007, our Canadian champion was Todd Woodward, so he's hoping to repeat that great bit of history.
And he left it right till the last minute.
He did. He did.
All right. Cowboys are getting ready down there, riding on in. We'll have 2 cowboys that will be released from the timed event end down there. One is an assistant to keep the steer running straight down the arena. The other one will actually jump from the horse onto the horns of the steer. Now, these steers are not easy to handle. Texas Longhorn steers are the toughest animals in the world. That's why we picked them for this. They are going to be a true test of the cowboy's ability. Todd's a big cowboy. This guy's probably 6'4", 6'5".
Oh yeah, he's all of that. And of course the guy on the other side is called the hazer. His job to keep that steer running straight, allow that contestant to get down on that steer's back, twist him to the ground, all 4 feet pointing the same way. Usually happens somewhere in the high 3s, low 4s to win the money.
And we're going old school over on the far side. We've got Leon May, former Canadian champion, over there to haze the steer. So we know he's got all the experience we need to take the lead tonight. Saw that Cowboys horse just back into that automatic 10-second barrier right now. There's no penalties for that. They will retie that, and you saw right there how easily that broke away.
Well, and of course that barrier is so important because you've got to allow that steer the required head start. If you don't do that, it's going to cost you 10 seconds. We add that like a cowboy speeding ticket to your total time. That is exactly the thing that you do not want to have. Notice the number 62 on that guy's back. #1 overall, we're going to see him in just a couple of minutes. Todd Woodward sneaking into the Canadian Finals rodeo is going to be our first man to go. All right, Todd Woodward.
All right, we've got to get that horse straightened out in the corner. Looks like the horse wants to get at the action as bad as the cowboy does tonight. He's talking to the handlers inside about this steer. We can see one of our Wrangler Pro officials right up there making sure that things are right at that timed event end. That's John Gillis down there. In just a moment, Todd is going to nod for that steer. The gate will be open. There'll be a split-second delay before he rides up. There we go. Now, slide down in there, get a hold of the steer. 2 horns, bring it around. That's the way the Canadian champions do it right there.
Nice start for Todd Woodward.
Oh, yeah. Look good. We'll get that time back to you momentarily.
He's looking up at that time, and as we take another look at it, Todd Woodward, watch what he does. This is just about as good as you can start your week with. That's just a nice run. Good steer, and he used him very, very well. As Todd Woodward awaiting his time, as are we. We'll pass that along to you as soon as we have it.
And steer did everything he could for the cowboy to help out. 4-4 in the order.
Dustin Walker, a really good cowboy out of Saskatchewan that you watched win a CCA championship a couple of years ago, and here he is. Dustin Walker, out, down, watch right here, try to get to that nose. Yeah. Nice work right there, because that steer wasn't all that easy. He really made a nice recovery there.
Dusty is a big, strong cowboy, and he's an all-around hand as well. He can team rope, he can ride broncs, and you can see he can bulldog. That's a big, solid cowboy. Nice start. Let's see if we can watch that left horn right there. That's the important one. Bring that steer around, and yeah, When you throw them like that, there's clearance to the ground. That's going to take you to a winning position. We'll have the time back up there for you momentarily. 4-6, 0.2 of a second off the lead. Great way to start it.
Well, I'll tell you what, I like the way our first two guys got things done. Now, it looks like we're going to move down to Clayton Moore as Clayton gets ready down there. Here's a guy for the second year in a row, just missed out on that coveted berth at the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo, but what a great season he had, including that San Antonio win that you saw just a moment on our Super. As Clayton Moore gets ready, all right, watch, out, alongside, get down, get that left elbow to the nose. Hey, man alive, he's happy about it, and I think he should be. That might take the lead right there.
That cowboy took a chance. Let's see if he gets a hold. Yeah, we're out and clean. Now we'll get a hold of this steer. Now he's going to throw this steer right from his back. He's not going to stand up and bring him around. That should be reflected in a quicker time. Yes, look at that.
Mackerel by a full second, 3 and 4 goes to the lead. There's Clayton Moore. That's just outstanding and such a good guy.
Talk about pressure on opening night. Here comes the pride and joy of Cochrane, Alberta. This is the big guy. This is Straws Milan right here. This cowboy's going to the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo this year. Rowan Jesse, Bulldog and Horse of the Year. Whoa, little bit of a bobble right there. Whoa, that is a strong steer when you can get that guy out of the ground like that.
Well, he is a big, strong guy. Straws Milan, of course, one of 3 Milan brothers, and Dad Murray, the president of our association, he is heading off to the National Finals Rodeo as our lone Canadian competitor, and I can't think of a better banner carrier than that guy for Canada. Straws Milan, going to see where he checked in at. He's going to be a little bit longer than the guys we've seen so far. As Straws Milan getting it done right there, talking to brother Tanner. And a 6 and 4 is the result for Straws.
That steer really wanted to come his way. Jesse did good to get by that steer, get him into position. Here's the American cowboy right here. This is Hunter Cure. He comes from Holiday, Texas. He's won some big rodeos south of the 49th this year. He's at 7th in the world standings, and we're very happy to have him here at the Canadian Finals Rodeo. Now let's get that horse set in there. Get the horse with the feet solidly underneath him. These horses have to get a good, quick jump out of there. Looks like a racehorse in a starting gate, only there's no gate in front of him. Outside, down and around, that looks good as well.
Oh my. Boy, I tell you, this is a great section of steer wrestling to start it off. Anytime you see that reaction from those cowboys, you know that they're happy with the way it went, and they're going to be happy with that time as well. As Hunter Cure, the Holiday, Texas cowboy, his 3rd Canadian Finals, getting out, getting down, getting dirty, and getting done. Watch right there. Boy, that is nice. That is pretty much the way you want to do it on opening night of the 40th Canadian Finals. How about a 3 and 8? Good for 2nd place overall for Hunter Cure. Just about what the doctor ordered for him.
Here's Tanner Milan right here. His own Jesse, Horse of the Year. Get down inside. This guy won so many of our Road to the CFR rodeos.
Yeah, well, there's 2 of them, Innisfail and Wainwright. And, of course, even more importantly, he was our defending champion here in Canada, won it all 1 year ago right here in this building. We're going to see him come Sunday trying to do it again. But look what he does right here. That's another nice recovery right there. Tanner Milan getting things done. Let's see where we're going to put him on our leaderboard right there as he looks up, taking a check of that time. And there's Brother Straw saying, hey, you did good, big bro. All right, let's see how Tanner Milan checked in.
Very strong set of steers. That one even got him out of the ground a little bit. He's looking up there at the replay of the run. He'll be back tomorrow night. That cowboy will be kicking him to it tomorrow night. 4.6 should be the official recorded time for Tanner Milan. 4.6. That'll place it in the round thus far. Just about $11,500 to our cowboy champion tonight. $8,500 to 2nd place and change. $5,500 and change to 3rd. Simply the cowboy with the highest amount of money when we're done this year is going to be the champion. Travis Rie, the cowboy inside from Marethorpe. We've got a horse that's hanging up just a little bit to get by and get that steer down. Trav did good.
Well, he's a little bit unhappy with it. Knows he chased that steer maybe a little bit longer than he wanted to, and that, of course, takes up that valuable time. He's the guy who's leading the all-around coming in here, wants to win that all-around title. He's won so many of them at the semi-pro level. That steer really was a runner. He caught Caught him, got him down, but you can see the look on his face, the body language says, I would have liked to be faster.
He got a bit of a jump on Trav tonight. His horse was a bit reluctant to go by just for a second or two. We could see the horns on that steer were moving over toward the horse. He did really good, as you said, Dave, to get that steer down. Here comes the guy with the number 1 back number right here.
Well, Morgan Grant was a graduate of Texas A&M. There was a big sign down on Highway number 6 near Lethbridge, Alberta, said, "Gig 'em, Morgs," because at Texas A&M, that's the big cry of all the fans at the football games and at the basketball games. Gig 'em Aggies. Well, he's an Aggie, and he's going to gig 'em right here. Watch this guy. He is our number 1 high point man on the season by about $11,000. Just a good guy. Not one of the biggest guys out there, but watch what he does right here. As he gets out, gets down, get to that nose. Come on, Morgan. Now kind of lost the footing just for a second right there, and that was costly. And he knows it. He knows it. He's kind of just unhappy with himself. Just that tiny little bobble, kind of lost the balance and got out of shape just a little to take some time.
His horse worked really good to get him by. Now the catch is all right. Right about here, we stubbed a toe. Now the steer is going to pull back against him. Good time with what went on with that steer. We'll have it back to you momentarily. Cowboys are looking up and watching, and all the steer wrestlers are down there to cheer the Cowboys on. Morgan Grant's our only Cowboy that's qualified here in 2 events, other than Chad Johnson.
Well, and he comes from Ontario, which is something else that's a little unusual. Don't see a lot of the Ontario hands out here, but boy, I tell you what, he and family have done very well in this part of the world.
Here's Lee Graves, 2-time world champion, as it states up on the graphic. He's riding his own horse. This is Jesse. Jesse has been crowned Canadian Professional Steer Wrestling Horse of the Year one more time. And you never, ever count out Lee Graves at any time. This guy is so smart about the sport of bulldogging, and as we said, this is the best horse this year.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's been a very good horse for a very long time. And you know, the great thing about Jesse is this is a horse that a lot of guys took a look at and said, why are you even trying with this horse? This horse is kind of a knothead when he first started. But boy, oh boy, he just became one of the great horses in our industry.
And that is a testament to Lee Graves' horse training ability.
Yes, it is.
And Lee only lets a certain number of Cowboys on this horse. He knows what he's got. He knows that the Cowboys that need to ride him and do it, ride him right. We don't want anything to go wrong with him. This horse has got a hair trigger. You know, Jesse is so fast when the Cowboy gets a hold of that steer. This horse almost seems like he accelerates. If you're watching him from the side, it almost seems like he's fast out of there, but he gets faster as the Cowboy gets down. Now that's a good start. Steer's kind of waiting for him. Look out, we might get the round this time.
Oh, Lee Graves. I kind of liked what he did with that. I think he's going to be in the 4 range, however, which might be just a little bit too long. Steer just hesitated just that tiny little bit on the way down. Might have cost him a couple of tenths. And every tenth is valuable, especially in a round like this where they're so good. Yeah, he's happy. He's happy, though. He's going to be in there. Yep, 4 flat. Very nice.
We still make it a 3-4 on the top side with Clayton Moore. Fastest run so far tonight. And as we're seated, we get quicker as we go down. This looks like Harley Cole down there and ready to go. Good luck to Harley.
Well, his first Canadian Finals rodeo, he's won Morris, Manitoba the last 2 years in a row, and that really helped him. That was about the turnaround point in his season. Kind of a tale of 2 seasons for this guy. The first half he was okay, but come July he was about 20th place in Canada, and then he just turned it up a whole bunch and really blazed a trail coming down the last few weeks of the season.
You know, Harley is one of those Cowboys that has that unique ability to know when to go to the nose on a steer. That almost seems to be instinctive for this guy right here. He was raised in the Lee Park country. They have a great rodeo each year. Now out to the steer. We're a while getting to this one. Whoa!
Man. Oh, I hate to see that right there. First of all, that's a little dangerous. That is hard on those lower legs, and that's where those injuries occur when you talk about the steer wrestlers. But that's just, he just got behind that steer. He was trying to catch up, dug into the ground, and did that backflip. Very, not exactly the way you want your Canadian Finals to start. That's a tough break right there for Harley Cole.
We have an aggregate award here, and that has just bumped the Cowboy out of the aggregate on 6 head of steers. He's going to be working on 5 from here on out. And that aggregate pays as much as a go-around dollar-wise, and it's very important to get every steer down. Here's a guy that's had a wonderful year, the pride and joy of Neepawa, Manitoba. This is Justin Miller down inside. I talked to him tonight prior to rodeo time, asked him what horse he was going to use. He said, this is my own horse right here, my own steer wrestling horse. I know him. He's taken me all year long, and I'm going to use him right here.
Well, he's our Rookie of the Year as well and comes in here in number 2 spot throughout the course of the 2013 season. He was just lights out. He was just so very, very good. Let's see if he can do it again. In good position right here to get to that nose. Oh, my. Oh, my. I want to watch that one again because you know what? He might have been just a little bit lucky. It almost looked like he was going to slip that left elbow off the nose of that steer. Let's watch this closely because this is a close to being almost a disaster. Now, the horse was kind of in the way right there. Didn't quite see it. But what a nice job. What a finish to that run right there. Great job by him. And 3 and 9 is the result. He's in 3rd place overall. Nice job, Justin Miller.
I think that steer actually moved over and bumped the horse. And then the steer actually bumped away from him, and he did good to keep on with that extension. Here's our year-end champion right here. Cody Cassidy, Janelda, he's been a Canadian champion right here. He's won the aggregate award here as well. 2nd generation cowboy, look at here. The year-end champion down inside, nice slide.
Boy, I'll tell you what, you watch that run right there, and that is just smooth. Not spectacular, but very, very smooth. He just did exactly what he had to do, given the steer that he had drawn. That's just a solid run. Let's watch right there and see how fast he was. He might have been a little faster than I thought even, although he did have to kind of chase that steer maybe 1 or 2 jumps a little longer than some of the other guys did. So let's find out how he fared.
As you said, a bit of a businessman run for him tonight. And there's our winner. That is Clayton Moore right there.